Whenever you're ready.
Okay, so our presentation is soft skills in the workplace. What are soft skills? If someone were to ask you what are your soft skills, what would you tell them? Soft skills are essentially your personality traits that you've been developing over the course of your life. Employers see them as insight as to how you work, whether it be with others or on a team. If you were comparing them to hard skills are probably what most people would assume to be their most valuable assets to an employer. They're the measurable skills that you gain, whether it be through education or other careers. And then why are they important? Your soft skills are important because employers are emphasizing a more collaborative environment more than ever. So if you have the hard skills necessary for the job, your soft skills might be just like the edge that puts you above different candidates with the same hard skills as you. And then how to highlight them in the workplace. Things like showing up on time every day for work to show that you're punctual, or asking questions after a meeting to show that you're actively listening, or showing that you can take a leadership role is how you would do it. So this presentation will cover communication, self-confidence, and teamwork.
So I'd like to start off with self-confidence as our first soft skill that we're going to cover. So what I'd like to talk about is unconditional self-confidence. You guys might have heard about unconditional love. So what is unconditional self-confidence? It's kind of the same idea except with confidence. It's believing in yourself despite your environment and the people environment and what they think about you. But how can you use that? How can you use that confidence in a workplace environment? Well, there are many ways that you can use that type of confidence in the business and in your position at your job. You could believe in your ideas that you have to offer in a meeting at your work. You could know what your strengths are whenever you're going to work, and especially whenever you're going for a job interview, you know what you have to offer and you display that in front of the person that wants to employ you in a way that shows that you know what you have to offer. And we actually have a small short skit for you guys to give you a little bit more in depth about what I'm talking about. So Jesse here is going to be the interviewer and Vincent is going to be the person getting interviewed. Take it away, guys.
All right. I'm Jesse. Nice to meet you, sir. Today I will be interviewing you for a technical support representative. Okay, so this is kind of how the interview is going to go. I'm going to ask you a few questions, kind of get to know you, kind of test your technical skills, and I have a list of questions I want to kind of get down to because we have some candidates in here and we want to make sure you're a good fit for it. Okay, all right. So let's go ahead and get started here.
Okay, but like, we don't need to waste any time because you already know I'm pretty qualified.
I mean, I saw your resume. I mean, but resumes, they can only tell me one story. I need to know a little bit about you. So.
Yeah, but like, you already have all my credits, so like, can we just talk about salary?
Salary.
So anyways, as you guys saw in this short skit right here, confidence is great, but sometimes you need to know, you need to know the right amount of confidence and know how much you really need. Know your position and know the position of the person that's in front of you. It's great to stand out, but it's also important to know where you're standing. And next, I'd like to pass it on to Laura. Oh, to Vincent with teamwork.
So for the next part of our presentation, we need a few volunteers. Sydney will pick out 3 from the audience. You can raise your hand if you want to participate.
Go.
Come on.
Anyone else? Just want Jules. Come on.
Oh, my sister.
You can just stand at the side for now.
Come on, Jules.
How do I finish
You're
it?
just too close.
Come on.
But before the demonstration, I'd like to talk a little bit about teamwork. A lot of times students will groan on syllabus day when the professor says group presentation. Presentations can be fun if there's a good group dynamic. Other times, not so much. And collaborating is even more important in a professional setting. So, to ease the pain and suffering of your group, you should listen to not only your leader, but your teammates as well. That's how you're going to create a positive dynamic. With this exercise, I'm going to need one person first. You're going to pick up one piece of candy, walk over and drop it in that box over there, and you're just going to keep on doing that. One at a time until we take this down. Just slowly. This guy's thinking, boss, why do I have to do this? It's so boring. It seems pointless. But it seems boring and it's pointless. And if your boss isn't a soulless driver, they should acknowledge your plea. Pleas for help aren't always effective, though, unless you show that you're reliable. By achieving everything that you can and to the best of your ability, show that your complaints are coming from a place of concern about the project and not of laziness. However, in situations like this, the task may be too much to handle in a reasonable amount of time, so we can bring in, you can ask your peers for help. So these two guys can start a little assembly line where there's less walking required, and you just pass the candy along.
So you take out more.
You're supposed to only do one at a time. So in short, the task may be really dumb and pointless, but your team's gonna have to do it anyway. So as long as you guys listen to each other and respect your ideas, you can suffer through a little bit more efficiently. Thank you guys. You can take some candy if you want. So next we'll go more in depth into communication.
Knowing how to communicate in a workplace is very important, whether it be a construction site, a school, or an office. Wherever it may be, knowing how to communicate in an effective and professional manner is crucial. Today, my team and I are going to share with you some tips on how to do so. The first tip is for listening. When listening, it is very important to also not only process what is being said to you, but actually paying attention to it. In order to be able to do it is by being able, when you're responding, being able to repeat what the key points that have been said to you, and also by to not also show your speaker that you're actually paying attention, but to also make sure that you avoid any confusion ahead of time. Another tip for communication and criticism is being able to be specific and constructive and give improvement ideas and being positive. This can really help your communication and criticism because everyone doesn't really like it or has a hard time listening to it. A perfect example of that is this picture. Instead of giving negative criticism, like I'm telling him the fish stinks, it's better to be able to offer a different idea. For example, no, let's ask him to be more careful the next time he buys fish. The next and last thing is technology. Today, a lot of companies and a lot of workplaces communicate through email, texting, and IMs. And in order to be able to do so in an effective manner, it's better to proofread what has been written first for checking for grammar and also to check the tone. What may sound good to you doesn't always sound good to everybody else. An example of this is this email. Hi. What did you think of that meeting? It was like Janet was in another planet, LOL. Anyway, I'm feeling sushi for lunch. Want some? Let's go. Your work bestie. It is always important to be able to realize that not only are your emails being monitored, but to
Potentially,
also,
not always, potentially being unfair. Scare everyone.
but to also keep the tone in a professional manner. So this is very inappropriate.
All right, so we've actually highlighted a few soft skills today, right? So of course, arrogance. We always want to talk about arrogance, self-confidence. It's great to have self-confidence, great to believe in yourself, but there's always a measure of how you exemplified it, like we showed in the interview. So Vincent was happy, he felt good about himself, but that self-confidence went over a line a little bit, right? So also communication. Always remember, whenever you type something, what you type is an extension of you, right? So always be cautious of whenever, even if you think it's a casual conversation, that can always be interpreted as something negative, and even viewed by someone else, just see people over their shoulder. So, and also teamwork. Teamwork is one of the cliches I like to hear and I like to do is teamwork to make the dream work. So as we work together, always try to build positive working relationships, and always be a team player. Thank you guys.
Ask for questions? Call for questions?
Yes.
Call for questions?
Call for questions. Anybody have any questions you want to ask?
Where did y'all, honestly, where did y'all come up with the idea for this again? What gave y'all the inspiration to do that?
So that was actually a real life situation.
Repeat the
for me.
question.
I'm sorry?
Repeat the question.
So you were asking what made us come up with this bid.
What
There
was
was
the
an
inspiration?
inspiration, right? So to respond, the inspiration was actually a real life situation for me. In my previous role at my job, I actually had a gentleman that we called him for an interview, and maybe 4 minutes into the interview, he stopped me and said, "Hey man, appreciate it. Look, you looked at my resume. I'm already qualified. Let's go ahead and get down to the nitty gritty. What's the salary? And I can already start." So I gave him this look, and immediately there was a turnoff. I had already been interviewed by 5 other people, and their personality wasn't at his level. So essentially, I didn't hire him. So that's where it inspired me.
Thank you.